The Starlight Echoes Chapter 12 The Pancakes and the Pink Paradox. The morning after the storm, the Wachowski kitchen was a sensory overload of domestic chaos. The smell of sizzling bacon and vanilla-scented pancake batter filled the air, cutting through the crisp chill that still lingered near the windows. Amy sat at the circular wooden table. She watched with wide, bewildered eyes as the sequence of a typical morning unfolded.
"Incoming!"
Sonic shouted, blurring past the table. He didn't just walk to the fridge. He ricocheted off the pantry door, grabbed a carton of orange juice, and landed back in his seat before the door had even finished swinging shut.
"Mom! Dad! Is the first batch ready? I'm running on empty here!"
Keep your quills on, Sonic.
Maddie laughed, flipping a pancake with practiced ease.
And use a glass. We have a guest.
"Right, guest. Manners. Got it."
Sonic said, suddenly sitting up straighter than a board and sliding a clean glass toward Amy with a nervous, shaky hand.
Orange juice? The juice from oranges. Very refreshing.
Amy blinked at the glass, then at Sonic.
Thank you, Sonic. Your speed is quite efficient for beverage distribution.
Across the table, Knuckles was staring down a bottle of maple syrup as if it were a worthy opponent.
"This golden nectar, it is remarkably viscous.
The echidna rumbled.
Does it grant the consumer the strength of the ancient pines from which it flowed?"
It's just sugar, Knuckles.
Tom said, leaning against the counter with his coffee mug, watching the scene with a tired but happy smirk.
But yeah, let's go with the strength of the pines thing if it helps you eat your breakfast.
Shadow sat to Amy's left. He was the only one who remained perfectly still, his arms crossed, watching the syrup bottle with a critical eye. He looked at Amy, noticing how she jumped slightly every time Sonic made a sudden movement.
"The entropy of this environment is high,
Shadow noted quietly to her.
but the nutritional output is consistent. It is a necessary trade-off."
It's a lot.
Amy whispered back, though she wasn't scared anymore. She picked up a fork, testing the weight of it.
Back home, breakfast was quiet. I would sit with my cards and the wind. Here, the air feels like it's vibrating.
That's just the Wachowski energy.
Tails chirped, hovering over to the table with his tablet.
You get used to it. Eventually, the noise just becomes background data.
Maddie walked over and placed a steaming plate of pancakes in front of Amy, topped with a perfect swirl of whipped cream.
Here you go, honey. Eat up. You need to get your strength back after that trek through the snow.
Amy looked at the plate, then up at Maddie. She saw the way Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all looked at Tom and Maddie with a casual, deep-seated affection. The way they said Mom and Dad like it was the most natural thing in the universe. It was a word Amy didn't use, a bond she didn't share, but seeing it in action made the kitchen feel even warmer.
Thank you, Mrs. Wachowski.
Amy said softly.
Just Maddie is fine, dear.
Maddie smiled, ruffling Amy's pink quills before heading back to the stove. As the boys began a heated debate over whether a pancake was technically a fluffy tortilla, Amy took her first bite. Her eyes lit up. The sweetness, the warmth, and the sheer loud life of the room began to knit together. She still didn't know who these people were, but as she watched Sonic try to flip a piece of bacon into his mouth and fail spectacularly, she realized that chaos was just another word for living. The breakfast plates were cleared in a blur of blue streaks and clattering silverware, leaving Amy blinking at the sudden stillness of the table.
"All right, Ames, can I call you Ames?" "No, too soon. Amy, it's tour time."
Sonic announced, skidding to a halt in front of her chair.
This isn't just a house. It's a multi-level fortress of fun, snacks, and occasionally very intense bro brooding.
"Sonic, your sequence is overwhelming her.
Shadow noted, standing up with a methodical grace.
A tour should be structured, starting with the primary living quarters and ending with the tactical heights."
Whatever, Shads. I'm the one with the cool cave.
Sonic countered, already halfway up the stairs. The group led Amy through the house, showing her the living room of legends, where the TV lived, and the den of wisdom, Tom's office. Amy touched the walls with a light, curious hand, her green eyes taking in every framed photo of the boys with Tom and Maddie. She saw a picture of a younger Sonic in a bandana and laughed softly, a sound that made Sonic turn a very bright shade of red.
And this
Tails said, gesturing to the hallway.
is the growth chart. It's where we track our physical progression through the timeline.
Amy leaned in, seeing the neat lines drawn on the doorframe. She saw Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and then her eyes landed on the newest, sharpest mark. Shadow Year 1.
You measure yourselves against the wood?
Amy asked, looking at Shadow.
It is a record of permanence.
Shadow replied, his arms crossed.
Proof that we are no longer transient assets.
Finally, they reached the pull-down ladder to the attic. Sonic scrambled up first, followed by a hovering Tails and a climbing Knuckles. Shadow stepped back, gesturing for Amy to go next. When she reached the top, the air changed. It was cooler here, smelling faintly of old wood, fresh paint, and the Atlantis winter outside. But it was the ceiling that stopped her breath.
Oh.
Amy whispered. The entire slanted ceiling was a deep midnight blue, covered in hundreds of glow-in-the-dark stars. Even in the daylight, they shimmered with a soft, pale green luminescence. They weren't just scattered. They were arranged in a way that felt deliberate, like a map of a sky that didn't exist on Earth.
The stars.
Amy said, her voice filled with wonder. She walked to the center of the room, looking up.
These are the ones I saw through the snow. They look like they're waiting for someone.
They remind me of a night with Maria.
Shadow said, his voice coming from the shadows of the doorway.
And a phrase, that the light still shines even though the star is gone. I placed them here to ensure the dark never feels absolute.
Amy turned to him, her expression soft.
They're beautiful, Shadow. It's like you brought a piece of the cosmos inside to keep you warm.
Sonic, sensing the mood getting a bit too broody for a snow day, hopped onto his beanbag chair.
And this is where the magic happens. We've got comics, beanbags, and the best view of the driveway so we can see when Dad gets home with the good groceries.
Amy sat down on the edge of the rug, looking from the stars above to the hedgehogs around her. For the first time, she didn't feel like a traveler lost in a storm. She felt like a guest who might just want to stay for the rest of the sequence. The attic quieted as Amy's gaze drifted from the ceiling down to the far corner of the room, where a sturdy new bed sat nestled under the slanted roof. Beside it stood a small nightstand with a single framed photograph, a grainy old image of a girl with golden hair and a kind smile.
Is that her?
Amy asked softly, walking toward the photo.
The star that is gone.
Shadow moved with a slow, heavy step to stand near her. He didn't pull the photo away.
That is Maria. She was the one who taught me that the world is worth the sequence of its preservation. This room, the stars, the bed, the music. It was all chosen to ensure I do not forget the promise I made to her.
Amy looked at the bed, then back at the stars.
It's a beautiful promise, Shadow. Most people try to forget the things that hurt. You built a sanctuary for it.
Yo, check this out.
Sonic interrupted, his voice bright as he hopped off his beanbag to break the heavy atmosphere. He blurred over to a trunk near the window and flipped it open, revealing a mountain of mismatched winter gear and old board games.
Since you're part of the Wachowski home for wayward hedgehogs now, you're gonna need a hobby. We've got extreme Jenga, competitive comic book reading, or my personal favorite,
He pulled out a slightly battered red and blue kickball.
backyard kickball. It's the ultimate test of speed, power, and trying not to break the neighbor's fence.
Amy laughed, the sound bright and clear against the attic silence.
I'm not sure I'm ready for extreme anything just yet, Sonic, but I wouldn't mind seeing how you play.
It's a date. I mean a plan. A tactical meeting. A game.
Sonic stammered, his quills sparking with a tiny blue charge as he realized what he'd almost said. He quickly turned his head, his face flushing a deep red.
I'll go. Prep the field. By which I mean, kick the snow into a pile.
He vanished in a blue streak, the attic floor vibrating from his exit. Knuckles shook his head, his arms crossed over his chest.
The hedgehog spirit is restless. He lacks the disciplined focus of a true warrior.
He is merely excited by the new variable.
Shadow noted, though his eyes remained on the stars. He looked at Amy, his expression unreadable but calm.
He has been alone for a long time. We all have. Your presence has altered the frequency of this house.
Amy looked out the attic window, watching Sonic blur around the snowy yard below. She felt the warmth of the heater, the softness of the rug under her boots, and the quiet strength of the dark hedgehog beside her.
I think I like this frequency.
She said. The backyard had been transformed into a regulation kickball diamond, which mostly meant Sonic had run in circles until the snow was packed down into 4 icy patches resembling bases.
Okay, Amy, the rules are simple.
Sonic explained, bouncing the red ball with his foot while trying to look cool, completely unaware that his glove was slightly snagged on the ball's textured surface.
Knuckles rolls the ball. I kick the ball. The ball goes into orbit. I run around the bases before Shadow can use his ultimate lifeform speed to tag me out. Got it?
Amy stood at the home plate patch of ice, shivering slightly but grinning.
It sounds chaotic. Do I get a turn to kick?
Of course.
Sonic said, his face heating up again.
You're the guest of honor. You get the first pitch. Knuckles, give her the gentle giant roll.
Knuckles stepped up to the pitcher's mound, his expression as serious as if he were defending the Master Emerald.
Prepare yourself, Pink Traveler. The sphere of rubber approaches with the weight of destiny.
He rolled the ball. It wasn't gentle. It was a high-speed projectile that hissed across the packed snow. Amy didn't flinch. She timed it perfectly, her red boot connecting with the ball with a satisfying thwack. The ball soared, but it didn't go into the woods. It headed straight for the kitchen window where Maddie was watching.
I've got it!
Sonic yelled, blurring into a blue streak. He jumped, intending to catch it midair to impress Amy, but his foot slipped on a patch of black ice. He didn't catch the ball. Instead, he kicked it. Hard. In midair. A small sonic boom echoed through the trees. The red ball didn't just fly. It ignited with blue static and disappeared over the horizon, past the pine line, past the local hardware store, and likely into the next county over. The backyard went silent. Sonic landed face first in a snowdrift, his legs kicking uselessly in the air. He popped his head out, covered in white powder.
That was a foul ball.
That was a transcontinental strike.
Shadow noted from the sidelines, leaning against a tree with his arms crossed.
You have successfully redacted our only piece of equipment, Sonic. The sequence of the game is now terminated.
Amy was laughing so hard she had to lean on her knees.
Is that how you usually play? You just send the ball to another city?
Only when I'm trying to be fancy.
Sonic grumbled, trudging back toward them while shaking snow out of his ears.
Normally, I at least keep it in the state.
It was a mighty blow.
Knuckles conceded, patting Sonic on the shoulder with enough force to nearly knock him over again.
The rubber beast shall be spoken of in legends in the neighboring lands.
As the sun began to dip below the trees, casting long purple shadows across the snow, the group started heading back toward the warmth of the house. Sonic walked next to Amy, his pace uncharacteristically slow so he could stay by her side.
Sorry about the ball.
He muttered, looking at his shoes.
I'll get a new one tomorrow. Maybe one that isn't aerodynamic.
Don't be sorry.
Amy said, her green eyes bright.
That was the most exciting thing I've seen all year. I think I'm going to like it here, Sonic.
Sonic's heart did that weird skip gear thing again, but this time he didn't run away. He just smiled, the love at first sight, finally settling into something that felt like a new, permanent part of his world. The sun had fully dipped below the horizon, leaving the backyard bathed in a deep indigo light. While the others had retreated to the warmth of the mudroom to stomp the snow off their boots, Sonic and Amy lingered by the back porch steps. Sonic was busy shaking out his quills, which was really just an excuse to stay outside for another 30 seconds with her. He was still buzzing from the kickball mishap, his chest feeling light and heavy all at once.
So,
Sonic said, leaning against the porch railing and trying to look casual, despite the fact that his left ear was still twitching from the cold.
aside from the flying sports equipment and the freezing temperatures, how are you liking Earth so far? It's a pretty big change from wherever you were before.
Amy wrapped her arms around herself, looking out at the silhouettes of the pine trees. She looked at him, her green eyes bright in the twilight.
Everything feels like it's happening for the first time. It's loud, and it's fast, and it's a little bit scary.
Scary is kind of my specialty.
Sonic joked, his voice dropping into a rare moment of sincerity.
But you don't have to worry about that. Not in this house. If anything tries to mess with you, they have to get through a super fast hedgehog, a genius fox, a very grumpy echidna, and, well, Shadow. And honestly, Shadow is the scariest one of the bunch.
Amy giggled, a sound that made Sonic feel like he could run around the world 10 times without stopping.
I don't think he's scary. I think he's just quiet. Like he's listening for a sound that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, he's a lot.
Sonic admitted. He looked at Amy, the pink of her fur standing out beautifully against the blue-shadowed snow. He'd never felt this specific kind of glitch in his system before. It wasn't just that she was a girl, it was the way she looked at the world like it was a gift she just unwrapped.
I'm really glad you found our house, Amy. Even if you did have to freeze your quills off to do it.
Amy stepped closer, her shoulder brushing against his arm.
I'm glad I found it too, Sonic.
For a second, the two of them just stood there in the quiet of the snow-covered yard. Sonic felt like he should say something cool, or maybe do a backflip, but for the first time in his life he was perfectly happy just standing still.
Sonic, Amy, your cocoa is getting cold.
Maddie's voice called from the kitchen.
Coming, Mom.
Sonic yelled back, finally breaking the spell. He turned to Amy, giving her a playful wink.
Race you to the door? I'll give you a 10-second head start since you're still thawing out.
You're on, Sonic Wachowski.
Amy laughed, already bolting for the steps. Sonic watched her go for a split second, a goofy, love-struck grin plastered on his face, before blurring after her. The snow day was over, but it felt like the real adventure was just beginning.